conference. Please talk to the audience, introduce yourself, and tell us what you do and what are you putting out there into society, into the world to make it a happier, healthier place.
So I'm Dr. Jim Loomis, and I'm the medical director at the Barnard Medical Center in Washington, D.C.
What are the top 3 questions in your sleep you're constantly bombarded with all the freaking time?
Well, they're the same. It's, the number one is where to get your protein. I mean, that's, you know that.
So hello, everyone. This is Dr. Caryn Dugan, aka the TheChefDoc, and I'm here with the doc and the chef, the chef and the doc.
and the chef,
Yeah.
We follow you on
we follow each other. Yeah, it's great. So we're here in Orlando, and this is the American College of Lifestyle Medicine. This is what I love about the spirit of this conference. Please talk to the audience, introduce yourself, and tell us what you do and what are you putting out there into society, into the world to make it a happier, healthier place.
So I'm Dr. Jim Loomis, and I'm the medical director at the Barnard Medical Center in Washington, D.C., and also co-host the Doc and Chef YouTube channel with my good friend and colleague, Caryn, who you'll hear from in a minute. And we put this together, 3 or 4 years ago? We were at a conference and went out after and started talking like, aren't you tired of people asking where to get your protein on a plant-based diet? And is soy going to give you man boobs? And a light bulb, why don't we start a YouTube channel? And we did. And so our YouTube channel marries nutrition science to your plate of food. And so each episode's topical. And it's been great. And Caryn can tell you what she does in addition to Doc and Chef.
So the reason I love what we do and we're able to bring this together is because, as you said, we do marry science, nutrition science to your plate of food. What that means, if we're doing like our first episode was on protein, right? Mm-hmm. So we have to cast a wide net. And Jim is able to, even though he is a smarty pants physician, he's able to break the science down into individually bite-sized pieces. It's very digestible, no pun intended. But, so he makes the science understandable. Yeah. And then I take that science and show you what it looks like on a plate, because there's a lot of researchers, healthcare providers out there who are talking just about science, but nobody knows what that science looks like on your plate. So then I put together a simple recipe that anybody can do. And we put an episode out probably once every other week.
Right.
We started this YouTube channel, but it's taken off. We've literally traveled the world this year doing live Doc and Chef shows. We were in Seattle. We were on a cruise ship first of the year. Seattle, Vancouver, Toronto. We did a presentation at the U.S. Air Force's very first Performance and Lifestyle Medicine Summit at the Defense Health Agency. We were at the Richmond Veg Fest a couple of weeks ago. We've been at 3 corporate health immersions, helping their less healthy employees learn the power of lifestyle and the power of plants. We're going back on the cruise ship here in a couple months. And so it's really been fun. It's a lot of work, though, because both of us have 2. You tell them about your other job.
Yeah, so I run the Center for Plant-Based Living.
Yeah, it's like nothing.
Well,
like in my backyard.
Well, I'll tell you, you're sweet. I'll tell you. It was a brick and mortar for 5 years. Mm-hmm. And as the world has become more virtual and it was very demanding, I had to pick a lane. So the Center for Plant-Based Living is fully virtual now, but still very demanding, which I love. So we do cooking classes. We have a membership. And then, of course, that's also where Doc and Chef lives on that website. So there's a lot going on at the Center for Plant-Based Living. And most of the content is free. Mm-hmm. So, and again, it's all science-backed. Right. And Jim comes up on our membership calls once a quarter. So all of our members have access to a full library of past cooking classes, interactive, and live cooking class every month for the members only. And then we also do a monthly support call. So there's a lot of ways to add more plants to your plate. So we're trying to get people where they are.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What are the top 3 questions in your sleep you're constantly bombarded with all the freaking time?
Well, they're the same. It's, the number one is where to get your protein. I mean, that's, you know that, right? Mm-hmm. The soy question comes up a lot too.
Yeah, it is
is it going to cause breast cancer? Is it going to give me man boobs? And the gluten is probably the other one that I hear a lot about. There's so many misconceptions about gluten. Yeah. Is it safe? I'm on a gluten. Why are you on a gluten-free diet? Well, I don't know. So those are the 3 topics I probably get most often.
You know what I get a lot too.
From a culinary perspective.
Well, I get Oh my! Well, okay, so 2. Number 1, what supplements are you on? How many supplements? And I always tell people, talk to your healthcare provider, of course. But no, that's why I'm on a whole food plant-based diet, so that I don't have to supplement. I get it mostly from my food. But from a culinary standpoint, we talk about oils a lot and the fat and calorie load that oil has per tablespoon: 120 calories, 14 grams of fat, 100% saturated fat, 0 fiber. All oils, doesn't matter. 1 tablespoon. So how do you get that out of your diet? What do you mean I'm sauteing without any kind of oil, or I'm baking without oil, or I'm, all these things. So that's what I do a lot.
Because from a chef perspective, it's almost, you can't think outside of the box if you're not using oil, right?
Right.
You have to use oil, some sort of fat all the time. So if you're talking about, broth or water, sauteing, like what is that, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and there's a lot of time, and Jim does this too. He'll say, okay, because people come to me, they're like, I'm on a whole food plant-based diet, but I'm not losing weight, or the numbers aren't moving. And Jim and I both will say, he to his patients and clients who come up to me, I will say, for 3 days, 3 days, 3 days, I want you to write down every single thing you're eating, every single thing. And it's the nuts and seeds, too many of them. And they're adding oil in their salad dressings or their saute.
yeah, so it's like a food diary, a
Right.
food journal, right?
Right.
And then, so if you can see it right in front of you, it just 3 days. I know it's tedious, but just 3 days, and it'll really tell you a picture on what parts you can improve on.
Or you just have them snap pictures of their plates, right? Do you have
Great
them do
idea.
that too?
Great idea.
Right?
Yeah.
We haven't done that. I use Chronometer. I like to use Chronometer and quantify it, because I see this with diabetics too. Patients who, they're on a plant-based diet and we're not able to move their A1C, and they say, I'm eating a lot of fiber and I'm not eating much fat. And then they get the data, like where they're eating 30 grams, 20 grams of fiber, and they're eating 50 grams of fat, and it needs to be the other way around. And having them see that, the hard, now that's only 2 things I have them track, actually. So that's why I use it. But the food, there are some apps now. I don't know if you've used any of them that you can take a picture and it'll calculate all that stuff. I don't know how accurate they are.
The most common one is the MyFitnessPal is the most common one. I know David Katz has his Diet ID, and that's like a collection of, pictures. So, there's not one size fits all, but I think snapping their own pictures makes the most sense. So where can people find you guys?
TheDocandChef.com.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. And if you want to learn more about Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, the BarnardMedicalCenter.org, ORG, or PCM.org. We have a lot of amazing resources for patients, providers around plant-based diets.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for stopping by
Thanks
and
for
running
having
into
us.
me.
DocChef.com.